Infinite banking starts not with a policy. It first starts with a behavior. It starts with our thinking. It starts with alignment of where we're going. And the whole life policy, it does one powerful thing. It grows guaranteed, tax-free, locking the money away so you can't sabotage yourself. It's always the habit and the way we think and the way we perceive how we control our banking function, not the design, not always. In most cases, if we've designed it, it's not a design problem. It's a paying yourself first and understanding that you're controlling the function of banking and that you're capable of being the bank. How many of you have told yourself, I'm saving, only to watch the money disappear a few weeks later? And how many of you feel like you're doing the right thing with money, but deep down, you know it's not working? That's you. You're in the right place. And thank you for being honest. And first off, thank you for showing up. Most people don't make the time to invest themselves and for a conversation this honest, but you did. And I'm going to honor that by giving you a framework that could literally shift the trajectory, say that 5 times fast, of your financial life. And here's what you're going to walk away with today. The real reason you're not actually saving, no matter what the bank account says. Why pay yourself first is the non-negotiable habit that decides everything else. It is the first rule, the 6-month rule that builds unshakable control, and the brutal truth. If you can touch it, you didn't save it. So let me tell you why this matters so much to me. I spent years trying to save, to put money aside, the discipline, the spreadsheets, the budgeting, which budgeting sucks, all of it. But I kept breaking my own rules, and it was causing so much stress, so much worry, so much anxiety, tears, sleepless nights until I saw the game for what it is. Banks don't negotiate. And if I want to become my own banker, I could not negotiate either. And that moment fired me up. It made me believe that all Americans could do this. And as I'm going to show you, it doesn't look that way, but I still believe it in my heart. And not because I had it all figured out. I've screwed up a lot because I finally saw what was the way, and it was me. I was in the way. So let's get this clear. The session is going to expose the illusion of saving and why 95% of people will never build real capital. Not you guys, but those people outside of here. We're going to walk through the beliefs, the habits, and systems that either make you the bank or keep you stuck begging for money. You're going to walk away with a new lens, a habit so clarifying, you'll feel the shift. You'll see the light bulb go on. It'll be like the cartoons. And before we're done, I'll ask you to decide, are you willing to protect the capital the way the banks do? So if you're ready, let's jump in. Let me share my slides with you guys. One day, I'm telling you, one day we'll have someone working all the controls and it'll be amazing. So, let's start with a hard truth, an uncomfortable truth, the illusion. Let's kind of walk you through the 3 phases. Most people think they're saving. Most people I talk to tell me they're saving. And they tell me they're putting X amount aside. And then when I ask them, well, how much is actually in your savings? They're not saving. They're paying their bills. They buy what they want. They live their life. And if there's anything left over, they're calling that the savings. And that's okay. I'm not judging, but just think about that. Paying the bills, buying what they want, not what they need, living their life, and whatever's left over, we save, we put aside. But then what happens, right? The one guarantee in life happens. Change. The car breaks. The vacation costs more than expected. Your kids want the extra toy or the extra scoop of ice cream. The kids need something. New clothes because they grew taller all of a sudden. The credit card bill shows up, and that saved money, the quote unquote saved money, it disappears. And here's the uncomfortable reality. If money can be touched, it was never saved. My peers talk about this all the time. Get an account that doesn't have a debit card that you can't touch, that is separate from everything else. That is the key. If it was never saved, it was what? It was just waiting to be spent. And almost everyone in our culture lives this way. And it's not because they're irresponsible. Why? It's because no one has ever taught them what savings actually means. And this is why, this is the truth on why paying yourself first is so misunderstood. Think about it. It's the first law of wealth. If I say richest man in Babylon, people are like, oh, I read that. I know what that means. And the order, have you ever heard the order reveals priority? Have you ever heard the expression, show me your calendar and I'll tell you your life. I'll show you your net worth. I hear that all the time. I hear that in all these high-priced coaching programs I've been part of. This exercise, the one created here for you today, is equally effective in predicting your money health. And we've been taught in this order: pay the bills, take care of everyone else, buy what you want when you want, and hope, pray that something's left over. And this is the very same thing that I say almost every week. Stop being last in line for your money. As Americans, we are last in line for our money. And what that trains, that repetition, that over and over and over of paying the bills, right? Paying the electricity, paying the bank, paying the car, paying your premium deposit, buying what you want, hoping something's left over after going out to eat and paying your credit card bill. It trains you and your mind to say, I come last. You know, Dex comes last, Shane comes last, Patricia, Fori, you guys come last. And that's not healthy. So paying yourself first doesn't mean moving your money to a savings account that you can access, parking cash just in case, saving until something more important comes up, right? Because what happens every time that we touch that money that has been quote unquote saved, what do? We go back to the zero line, right? Robert Kiyosaki talks about this all the time. His game cash flow is created around the zero line. You're either a debtor or you're a saver. And either way, when you interrupt the compounding or you get back to zero, you're in the rat race. That's the definition. So when we're moving the money to someplace that we can still touch, we're not saving. When you pay yourself first. Now, write this down, right? I want you taking notes, commit this to memory, read this tonight before you go to bed. Saving until something more important comes up is not saving. Paying yourself first means what? Removing the money from negotiation. If your money is still available, your brain's going to justify using it. It's not a character flaw. You're not weak. It's our human nature. So just know that it's okay. It's common. It's actually what the banks count on because banks understand this. That's why your mortgage payment is not optional. That's why your loan payment is automatic. That's why your interest is collected before the profit. That's why the amortized loans are so heavily front loaded. The bank always pays itself first. Again, the bank always pays itself first and always gets paid no matter what. And guess what? Your credit score, having a high credit score, that just identifies the bank as someone they want to lend more money so they can get their money first. How's that for a reframe? The banks lend you money based on your credit score and in the percentage based on how much they'll give you because you've shown with consistency that you're willing to pay them first. And until you do the same for yourself, you're not the banker. Now, if you could, tell me what you're feeling in this moment. Like pop it in the chat, share. Does that resonate? Does that make sense? Until you practice the same way the banks are practicing lending us some money, because we know if we don't pay the mortgage, what happens? It makes Shane mad. If you're not paying the mortgage, what happens? A lien comes on your house. They take your house. If you're not paying your car payment, what happens? They take the card, right? There are consequences for not being an honest banker in the common world. The same things apply in, like I have people right now that are losing their banking systems because that's the reality. They're not following this. They haven't shifted that habit. They started too soon, which is where this conversation came from. This is where the conversation between Patty and I came from. I was saying, look, this is the people I'm talking to. I'm talking to my builders, the folks that are here, the people that are practicing banking. Then I'm talking to folks that I would label becomers, people who want to bank. They want to change these things, but the habits are so ingrained that they're not yet actually ready. And I'm doing them a disservice by starting them too early. And then you have the borrowers. They're the folks, the 95%, the people that aren't here that don't even know that they have a problem. And the lie that we tell ourselves, right? The painful realization, the lie that we're telling ourselves is most people say this, and they tell me this on all my calls, 3,000 plus calls, 4,000 plus calls at this point. Jason, I save every month. I'm like, oh yeah? How long does that money go untouched? Well, I saved $1,000, but I only have $100 left. What? What happened? What happened? The answer tells the truth of the pattern. 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. The money's sitting there until something happens. And that's what happened to me over and over again until I had clarity that my money needed to be protected because I'm either going to have to work my entire life for money or I'm going to learn how to put my money to work for me. If you save money and spend it, you're not saving. You're practicing temporary restraint. And that temporary restraint does not create bankers. That's all we're looking to do. We're looking to change one thing. If you know our presentation and you know my message, I'm asking everyone, change one thing. Love yourself first, pay yourself first, because when you're only practicing temporary restraint, that is a recipe for stress, frustration, folks that feel stuck, worried, sick, up at night. And this is why the people on the calls are saying, Jason, I tried to save. I tried infinite banking. I tried being disciplined and it just wasn't for me. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. You tried negotiating with yourself. If you're being honest, you negotiated with yourself and you lost. And here's some shocking statistics. When I saw this, I thought, this is crazy. I was just wondering last night as I was preparing this for all of you, like, what is the average savings rate in 2025? How did we do as a country? And the reality was worse than I thought. We saved an average of 4.4% last year. 2024, we're at 4.6%. Our long-term historical average is roughly 8.4%. Now, that's over the last 50 to 60 years, I believe, because since 1985, we've been saving as a country less than 5%. And what's crazy about this, and just think about this, look at the chart, look how low. The only time that it went way high is when the government printed money, caused inflation, caused our current economic situation that we're in. I'm not going to call it a recession yet, but I know Chris and my peers will. But what's crazy about this is we've been incentivized to save. Back in the 80s, when you put your money in a savings account, you were getting paid like 0.01%. Last year, all of you have shown me time and time again that you found places online that'll pay you 3.5%, 4.2, 4.5%. But even with that being true, why is it that Americans don't see the value of earning money on their money, of having their money make money? Why? Because this is the habit that we have been groomed to not do, right? We want to stay last in line for our money because we don't know we have a problem. But not you guys. You know that you're here for this lesson, for this reminder, for this launching point for 2026. So this lie is the common lie, and this lie is what keeps people stuck. 4.4%. Down from 4.6%. Our debt has skyrocketed. Why? Because we are last in line for our money in America. And that's okay. We're going to show you in a moment what you can do. But before that, make sure you're smashing the like button. You're ringing the bell to be alerted to new content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to us. So many people are watching this content and they're not subscribing. Invite more people. Like I always say, the infinite banking bus is a big ass bus. Bring your friends, bring your family, be a blessing to those in need, because if our savings keeps going backwards, we will never achieve our financial dreams and have financial freedom. And the rest of this, stay tuned, because I'm going to reveal what you can do by changing just one thing that'll change everything. So smash like and subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you here in a moment. And so here's the solution, this rule, the 6-month rule. Now write this down, 6 months. This is the habit. This is the thing that you're going to build over time. Now I did the 60-day build a habit, cold plunge every day for 60 days. You know what happened? I went away for a weekend or a week skiing. I came back and I barely plunged. 60 days without your identity being aligned with your subconscious, both sides of yourself coming together in perfect alignment, won't last. But here's why I believe that this 6-month rule, I almost made it longer, but I think that the repetition, the consistency, the persistency of doing something over and over and over again. You might be thinking, Jason, God, you keep saying the same thing, man. Pay yourself first. We get it. But here's the thing. Then why do we save so little as a country? And that money that you pay yourself first must accumulate for at least 6 months. You're now first in line for your money. It can't be touched, no matter what. No emergencies, no exceptions, no I'll pay it back. And why? Because habits aren't formed in comfort. I said this to one of my friends in Ecuador. This guy, you talk about discomfort. I said, Cheery, you know what? Comfort is the enemy. And his eyes lit up. And this is a guy who he did a race and came in second place riding his bike from Canada to Mexico. And one day he's going to lead some of these founding father events, experiences that we're going to put together. He doesn't even know that yet, but I'm telling you today that that is happening. Comfort is the enemy of our progress. The persistent, consistent habit, the getting on the mat every day, the training every day, the paying yourself first is something to celebrate, but it's also something that's going to put you under a new pressure if you haven't done this yet. And this 6 months is going to teach your nervous system something new. The money's not available. The money's not for spending. This money belongs to the bank, our bank. At first, it's going to feel scary. Your brain's going to scream, "No! What are you doing? What if something happens? Jason, what if my kid gets sick? What if a bone breaks? What if my car breaks down? What if the air conditioning goes?" You know what? Your money has to be protected by a buffer. That's why you're living off of 70 to 80% of what you make. The fear is not danger. The fear is withdrawal from an old habit. And on the other side of that discomfort is control. It's guarantees and it's everything you want. And this is my line in the sand for all of you. Why this money is gone. It's locked in. It's in a safe. Your mental accounting creates the reality. When you pay yourself first correctly, the money's gone. It's not hidden. It's not delayed. It's not waiting. It's gone. Just like a mortgage payment. Can you imagine going to your bank and like you pay your mortgage on the 5th and you're like, "Hey, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, I'm going to need that $1,800 back. It's okay. I just gave it to you again, like I do every month, consistently, persistently, but you got to send it back to me." What are they going to say? "What is wrong with you?" "No, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry. Figure it out." When you think like that for yourself and put yourself first, everything shifts. This is like your mortgage payment, your car payment, your electricity bill. Right? If you don't pay your electricity bill, what happens? The lights go off. Is a moment that some of us have experienced before. I have been at the counter at the grocery store and swiped my card and it got rejected. I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not that hungry. I'm not that hungry. I'll eat next week." It's happened. I don't want it to ever happen again, and it won't, because I have changed the way I think about money. I have changed the order. I now put myself first, my family first. And you don't wake up when you do this. You're not going to wake up thinking, "I wonder if I'm going to use my mortgage payment today." Because why? Mentally, the money no longer belongs to you. It belongs to your bank. This shift, I offer this to each and every one of you, even the ones that are already practicing this. This is the reminder that the money that you pay yourself first is not yours anymore. It belongs to your future self, your family, your banking system, with your goals aligned with that banking system. If you treat it like spending money, you'll never become your own banker, because bankers don't steal from the vault. They might use all of our money to make a lot of money. They might create a lot of money out of thin air, but they understand the game. They understand that when they give us a grading system, which is our credit, they say, "Oh, well, we don't want to lend that person money because their grades are kind of low. They don't really have good, persistent habits, but over 800, yeah, we'll keep lending that person money. We'll keep offering them more ways." I get stuff in the mail all the time. I'm like, "I don't have debt. What do they think I need to consolidate? Why are they, sending me these offers that I don't even need? They're just hoping that I'll take the bait and I'll pay them interest." And so this is why this habit, this one change, this one thought is the foundation of the infinite banking concept. This system only works when the habit exists. And Patty told me, "Hey, you guys don't like the word habit, but I don't know what else to call it." That consistent, persistent action. How's that? Infinite banking starts not with a policy. It first starts with a behavior. It starts with our thinking. It starts with alignment of where we're going. And the whole life policy, it does one powerful thing. It grows guaranteed, tax-free, locking the money away so you can't sabotage yourself. But if you don't first understand why the money must be non-negotiable, why it's a privilege to pay yourself first, you're going to do the following. I see this a lot too. You're going to overloan the policy. You're going to undercapitalize the policy. You're going to go down to your base, your manageable floor, and you're going to be undercapitalized. And you're going to wonder, "Why isn't this working for me?" You're going to quit early. You're going to blame the system. I've had it happen. Not a lot, but it does happen from time to time. And the policy is never the problem. The design's not the problem. I had someone reach out to me today and say, "Jason, I put my, my information online and I'm looking at this and I don't understand, why does this not hit a break-even point to year 10? I'm like, "But you're hitting an efficiency point in year 4. It's always a habit in the way we think and the way we perceive how we control our banking function, not the design, not always. In most cases, if we've designed it, it's not a design problem. It's a paying yourself first and understanding that you're controlling the function of banking and that you're capable of being the bank. I feel like there's a lot of Zeus, a lot of confrontation today, but I want to make sure on my mind's been patterns thinking, and I want people like I like to be uncomfortable. It's just my nature to go and push myself and I want to push each of you. I want to challenge each of you. I want you to choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. So I'm going to leave you with this. Every banker you admire, every institution you trust, every system that lasts, especially these systems that last for hundreds of years, profitable every year, they all have one rule. Capital is protected first. So I reiterate again, if you're touching your savings, if you're not protecting your capital, you're pretending. I'm saying that with respect because I did it too. Remember, no judgment here. And if you're not doing it, you're just not doing it yet. But the moment that you decide the money is gone, the money's in the bank, everything changes. Clarity replaces fear. Structure replaces stress. Control replaces hope. Paying yourself first isn't a vice. It's that line that you take your big toe and you draw it in the sand. When you cross it and you start becoming your own banker, if you ignore it, nothing will work. You miss this one thing, nothing that you want will happen. So that's the takeaway. It's like, exactly, it's like trying to do something and not even bothering to follow the most important rule, how to get started, how to do it. That's your line in the sand. And this is the core takeaway for today. So I want you to repeat this with me, write it in the chat. If I can touch it, I didn't save it. If I saved it, I cannot touch it. Again, if I can't touch it, or if I can touch it, I didn't save it. I did not save it. If I saved it, I cannot touch it. The money is gone for my bank, for my money to make me money, for my money to be in motion. That's the takeaway. When you ignore it, it'll never work. This is the one thing, the most important thing. This differentiates between the builders, the becomers, and the borrowers. You know, wherever you are in the journey, it's okay. Just make sure you're giving yourself honest feedback. So let's bring this home. You've seen the why. You see savings isn't real if money is still touchable. Weird word. Is that a word? Touchable. You got to pay yourself first means the money is gone, not moved, not waiting. 6 months of unbreakable habits rewires your nervous system, and infinite banking only works when this foundation is set. Remember the story I shared about negotiating with myself, breaking my own rules over and over again, being stressed and worried and feeling like I was failing. And it wasn't failure, it was feedback. Remember, everything's either a blessing or a lesson. I had all these lessons for 46 years and I ignored every one of them. I just thought, oh, I'm just not smart enough. I don't know what I'm doing. And if you're feeling that, it's feedback. Lean in. It taught me the difference between my intentions and having a structure, a process. And it's a reason I can say this so clearly. If you can touch it, you didn't save it. If you saved it, you cannot touch it. The money is gone for my banking system, right? For the Holiday banking system, for the Sipple banking system, for the Walker banking system. You know why protecting the capital is non-negotiable. You've learned the mental, emotional, and practical shifts that creates real savings. And now you have the keys to becoming your own banker, starting today. So here's your next step, your check. Will you go 6 months? Remember the 6-month test? No matter what, without touching the money, you pay yourself first. Yes or no? That's what I need to know. Where are you at? How much are you saving? And how much are you committing to saving over the next 6 months? If you're not saving more than the average American at 4.4%, commit to 5%. If you're saving 5%, commit to 6%. If you're not able to save 10% yet, which is the first law of wealth, that's okay. But you have to decide yes or no. Will you pay yourself first? There's no middle. There's no gray. This is black or white. Because once you cross that line in the sand, you don't hope for control any longer. You become the one who has decided to become the bank. And I didn't ask this at the beginning, but if you're new and you haven't started your system or you've been around and you're a becomer, scan the QR code. Start your banking system. If you're at least saving 10%, it's time to have a conversation. If you're not doing that yet, don't schedule a call yet. Go keep learning, practice this habit first, and we'll work together when you're ready. Today, we promised that we were going to show you that one thing would change everything. And we did that. It's simple. It's as simple as understanding that the banks never negotiate. When you're paying your mortgage, paying your car payment, what happens? If you don't pay it, they take it from you. So becoming the banker is the mindset shift of getting to be first in line for your money. If you can touch your savings, you are not saving. But once you do that, once you establish that habit, once you're paying yourself the 10%, then you are ready. If you want, I'm not attached, but you are ready to have a conversation on how this system can work for you. So again, smash that button, really just whack that thing, ring the bell, and at the same time, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, get alerted to all the new content. I'm going to see you in this next video where we keep exploring the mindset, the discipline, the habits, and the unique business of becoming your own banker. So God bless. Thank you, as always, for your most important, right? Your most valuable asset, your time, your attention, your focus. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in this next video. God bless.